In old Ohio, there's a team that's known throughout the land. 11 warriors brave and bold, whose fame will ever stand. And now, the defending national champions get a rematch with Texas.
And the Longhorns.
With a Manning now at quarterback, the Longhorns look to exact revenge. But first, they have to enter the mighty horseshoe, a concrete cage of terror for visiting opponents. Can the Buckeyes defend their crown? Or will Texas spoil the start of their season? Now a new chapter arrives in this budding rivalry. From Vince Young to Jack Sawyer, players have left a mark on this game. Who will etch their name in history in this edition? It's number 3 versus number 1. Are you ready?
There we go. That was the intro. It's the Mike and Rico show. We've got a recap of week 1. We had some doozies of some contests. None bigger than Texas at Ohio State was number 1 versus number 3. Now it's the rankings have been flipped around, and the Buckeyes are the new number 1 as the rankings came out today. So we're going to get into some of the highlights here, but I don't know if there's ever been a weekend that's been more hyped up than this one here.
Yeah, it was huge. It was exciting. We didn't know like how high scoring it'd be, and it certainly wasn't. But there was a lot of defense, and certainly was Arch going to take the next step, or was Ohio State going to come in there and put their presence on starting the season? So yeah, it was a great start to the weekend.
Well, what was some of the biggest surprises for you taking that game in? I mean, I was pretty bullheaded about Arch Manning and about Texas going into that one. I got to say, I was kind of surprised to see him struggle. I think that's the biggest takeaway there. I thought he'd be farther along in year 3. I thought that Texas offense would be more kind of a, tailor fit to what his strong suits were. I didn't like the game plan from Sarkisian. I didn't like them going tempo. I think they need to go back and rewatch some of the Michigan tape when they played, and they were very successful against Ohio State. And I feel like Texas has got the personnel to do that, but they just didn't call that kind of a game. I mean, my biggest takeaway was I thought Arch was going to be a little further along. What about you?
I just thought I hated the game plan personally. I thought it was terrible. What they were doing. I mean, Arch is a very athletic runner. They didn't do much run design. They didn't do anything to really open him up and let him go. And then finally, I think in the second half, we saw them kind of cut loose and let Arch do some things. Yeah, he threw a pick, but I think that really hurt them in this game where they just weren't aggressive from the start. And I think from the beginning, I felt like Ohio State controlled the tone of the way the game was going to go. Keep it very grounded, keep it very the defense hold the bar, and then make some plays to get an early edge. And I think that was a big deal that Ohio State took an early lead. And from the beginning, it felt like Texas was just playing catch up because they weren't aggressive with their game plan. I just thought it was very vanilla what they were doing, and they weren't really using the greatest strengths of Arch to get him comfortable. I don't think they really got him settled in. They kind of ease him in there, and they just don't work when you play Ohio State. If you look at a lot of their games, you gotta go after them, and that's the way Oregon played them. The first time in the first matchup last year. You have to go after them. I just didn't feel like Texas went after them. I thought the game plan was very tentative.
Well, let's get into it and let's check it out.
Welcome back to beautiful Columbus, Ohio. As we get you set.
Great football weather. You can't ask for much more than that.
History of college football.
Awesome.
It's Ohio State against Texas.
Manning. Off his back foot, checks it down to the side.
Yeah, see, right off the bat, I don't like this. I mean, we're checking down a lot.
Wrestled down.
You got to figure that you got to be able to run something backside of that route tree, get something down the sideline, give your receivers a chance. I mean, I know they want to stay away from Caleb Downs, but the way this defense was playing, it felt like if Texas could just get a couple big plays, they could have really taken advantage of this, and they just could not scheme it up. I was disappointed in Sark for that reason there. A little slow to take off here. This was a check down he had to the 4 in the outside, but he just didn't see it. It felt like the game was really fast for Arch, and I thought it'd be slower.
Yeah, it was.
Over the shoulder
it was. I mean, if you're looking for a silver lining for Texas, their defense definitely looked like a championship defense. If you watch them play, their what they do in the trenches. I like their DBs. I like their defensive scheme in general. I think they did a pretty good job, but they just didn't get enough to start the game on offense. I think it's really when you're playing Rico, you got to set the tone on offense, and they just never got to do that.
So this is 2 penalties here on this drive. They get stuffed on 3rd and goal.
Texas getting
I think they had 30 yards of penalties on this drive. And then, of course, 4th and goal. Guy ran past it. He was there. Ran past his key. Buckeyes get a huge opening play touchdown or opening drive touchdown here.
Down conversions. They need 10 here.
Another 3rd and 10.
Yeah, that's
just
what
felt
I'm
like Texas was 3rd and long. That's got to step up quicker there.
He's taken down behind the line.
Yeah,
that's just that
that's a play.
hesitation.
Reese.
That's the play he should have taken off running right immediately, right when the pocket started breaking, and he waited too long.
Trying to power forward, got close, and he'll be down.
Almost got in there.
Now,
Looks like
now it sets up 4th and goal.
About
You see it's just a difference.
Manning.
Here's 4th and goal here.
Do the push, and
Got just stoned.
he'll get in. Ohio State.
Why not spread it out there?
Penn State last year.
Yeah.
And right now, Texas.
I would like to see him spread out there
so that
you can use Manning and his athleticism on kind of one-on-one matchups. You've got too many asses at the line of scrimmage there, and the Buckeyes are they're built for that. They're strong there. There's only a couple teams that really challenge them there, and there's only one in particular that really gets the best of them. I thought Texas's advantage would have been out on the edge, using speed, and then at this point now they get a huge goal line stop. They punch one in on 4th down. Great play action call here. And then, Carnell Tate just doing what 5-star receivers do. Buckeye receiver, it's going to be a blur on the outside. Great adjustment to the ball. Sayin hung that one up. I mean, that wasn't the best ball. He had him beat by a couple yards.
Or a crucial target in the 4th quarter.
It was just it was like it was a catch, just double ways, because that goal line. That you felt like after that goal line stand, that was kind of it. And then the deep catch really just sealed it.
The pass is incomplete.
Almost a second pick there from Arch. That was a bad decision across the middle, a little late. They end up stretching this out, getting another opportunity.
In the end zone.
Come up short. I would have. At this point now, you're deep into the 4th. I guess taking the points isn't really what you need to do. This was the best throw of the day, I thought.
Touchdown, Texas.
That was the best throw of the day.
Yeah.
Sideline ball, kind of let him back inside after he had him beat. Receiver got him stacked, made a play. And now at this point, it's kind of like the Buckeyes have outplayed Texas, particularly at the line of scrimmage. But here we go, 2-minute drill. This is the thing legends are made of. This ball right here was a money ball, pin drop in the bucket, and now you're starting to, what do we have here? Maybe Arch is going to put the cape on, but then you got a 4th and 5 here. Got to get to the sticks. You just have to get to the sticks. You have to get to the sticks. He got drug and hung up there on that route, little crosser. Didn't get to the sticks. Arch did a great job staying alive, but too little, too late. Buckeyes get a huge win over Texas at home, and it's looking like they just got Texas's number. So, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, they
just watched that.
Yeah, my thing is just really from I didn't like the start of the game, the tone of what they're playing with, but then too, they just didn't make the plays when they were there. Even that last clip that you showed, where they had the ball down there, the guy was wide open underneath. I mean, you just got to read that better. And, he's right there in the middle. You throw it underneath, it's a touchdown. But just overall, the game, they just felt like Ohio State just made the plays when it mattered. And you went back to the goal line thing, and it's like, it's just
huge.
That is on the offensive, that is on Sark. Like, you have to draw it up better than that. Whether he's calling it or somebody else is calling it, you got to do better there. And they just made the plays. Ohio State was the better team on this day. They could play each other later, but I felt in this game Ohio State made the plays that they deserved to win. When you watched them, I felt like they were the better team today when I watched it, just on the plays they made, how they schemed stuff up, offensively and defensively. I felt like they were just a better team.
Well, moving on, we had another big one. And can we call it Death Valley anymore? I don't know. This one was for Pink Slip. We've
It's
got
Death Valley.
Yeah, we've got Clemson and LSU, a big one. Let's get right into it. Now, off the bat, you said you thought that Clemson looked a little overmatched against LSU early on, but turnovers kind of kept it close.
Yeah,
I mean, did you feel like through the entirety of the game that LSU just had more? Ooh, look at that blitz! Good Lord.
Yeah, I just felt like they had more playmakers, and I felt like LSU was more of a threat to score when I watched them. Every time I watched Klubnik in this game, I just felt like they just couldn't get the offense going. Got a big break there on the fumble.
Big hit.
But both of them I think both of them have tremendous defenses. I think that's clear. But it's just the difference you saw was you felt confident that LSU was going to score, and I just feel like most of the time you didn't think Clemson could go the field and score on them consistently.
Yeah, points were kind of at a premium. That was kind of the theme of some of these big games. Points were kind of at a premium early on. Clemson takes a 3-0 lead, takes advantage of some LSU miscues. So here we go. We're still in the first quarter. Got some tremendous penetration there.
Yeah.
We know who that is, Sammy Brown. Where is he from, South Georgia? Yeah. That's what South Georgia is right there.
Yeah, he's everywhere.
Yeah, LSU was able to get to the edge a few times. They look like they got some good athletes out there. It looks like they've got more backs than normal.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
One or two. They've got a few.
A few of their backs are really good. Xavion right there, and then Step Durham probably was their main back. And I like their back. I was going to say I like their backs a lot better than I have in the past. I think Brian's got a lot to work with.
Nice ball across the middle of the field. Yeah, nice ball.
Play fake. Nussmeier chased.
Oh, there's another.
God, those guys are so fast.
They're tall too. Big old boys moving.
And he drives.
All right, what a boot right there. It's a big time. 53-yarder. So we're 3-3. Start of the second quarter.
On third down, pressure is picked up.
Nice ball across the middle. Now, this play right here, it feels like Clemson wide receivers of old would break that for a tutty. Right?
Yeah,
it feels like your Duke Hopkins, those guys, their T. Higgins, they would break that.
Yeah, problem with that is they just didn't have a lot of those. I mean, this drive was probably the best as far as how explosive they were, but really they just didn't have a lot of those, explosive plays. It's a great run here at the end.
Oh, he's down. Yeah, he's down. I believe they called that a sack there.
He chose to try to throw it.
Yeah, that's my thing with Klubnik. A lot of his reaction time to stuff happening is just not good. This is a great run.
This effort. Great effort. Got dudes just diving sideways, 71. Get you some Superman into the end zone. Good Lord.
Get me in the celebration. What up?
Yeah, dude's flying. Ladies and gentlemen.
Boom. What's up? Here I am.
Oh, that route almost got blown up. Oh,
trickeration.
Look at these guys. They got some absolute.
Yeah, I think that's probably their best receiver in Aaron Anderson. Know him out of high school. It's a 5-star. It's really good.
Oh. Every time we do those long lateral plays,
huge
turnover.
Nope. That was the story of the game, really, for most of it, is they couldn't stop turning the ball. If they just didn't turn the ball, you felt like LSU was in control.
Oh, my goodness. He caught that. Holy moly, got upended. Klubnik, don't do that again. You'll get somebody broken. Oh, what a catch. Oh! They call that a fumble?
No, they said incomplete.
Oh.
just ripped it out.
20 after the penalty. Nussmeier flips it short.
Oh, I love that play design. Almost like a tunnel screen, but not really. Look at this guy scooting. Go on and
I'm
take this
telling
for
you.
a ride, young fella. Goodness gracious,
the
you need to charge that guy a fare.
He was pretty good for him last year too. I mean, he's now
Get a
getting
little
his turn. And
looking like Joe Burrow here. Ooh,
oh yeah,
I saw that coming in. He got hurt.
Kind of got lost in that defense.
I like Nussmeier. Nussmeier was good.
yeah, he's really nice.
Oh, nice tough run. Fumbled again. Good Lord. Y'all need to do some ball control drill. That's
Telling you.
Goodness
Telling you.
Durham takes it the last couple yards.
All right, we got a 10-10 ball game here, and with LSU having turned the ball over 2 times, 1 time dang near on the goal line, I mean, they got to be feeling good right now. It's like they weathered the storm, they weathered the turnovers, and now it's just about playing a quarter and a half of ball.
College football countdown at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, that's really the only thing that makes me nervous about LSU is the turnovers.
Ball games at 8 o'clock.
Ooh, big pressure. Yep, saw that plan. That's what pressure does. Makes you throw things early, throws off timing. That's why all D coordinators want to bring it. They want to disguise it. They want to make it look as exotic as they can. Great blitz call. Turnover. They get a turnover back. Now let's see if LSU can take control here. They kept getting outside the doggone C-D gap, and they got on the edge, and they were just better on the edge.
They were. They were. This is where I felt like they took over the game.
They don't play Miami in the regular season. They'll be favored in the rest of their games.
Ooh, that's a great tackle right there. 17 again. This dude's flashing like wouldas.
Yeah, like their defense is really good for Clemson.
Look at this play. Give me that. You go out one out. You're 1v1 with LSU Tiger receiver on the outside. I mean, they are the equivalent to Ohio State. It's not going to look good for you.
Yeah, that looked like a Keon Coleman play. Just body him up and then go get the ball. Go get the rebound.
Straight edge screen. Just boxed him out. Give me that. Bigger and stronger.
Yep.
Pressure comes.
Tigers take a 17-10 lead. Now they are just got a lot of hats on the ball. That's a great play to extend it right there by Klubnik. That's a great play.
Yeah, that is.
Now we're getting a little late now. I mean, now it's starting to dip into the 4th, and it's starting to get to nervy time here. And this is tight end just running over some folks, just looking like Bam Bam Bigelow out there. Good Lord. That drive stalls. Here comes LSU. I don't like this perimeter crap. We're going to get into this Notre Dame Miami game here. A lot of perimeter passing delayed. If you're going to go perimeter, you got to go quick. Blown up again. Clemson's defense bowing up here, giving them a shot. And here's the shot.
Yeah.
What a ball. That's a fantastic ball. That's as good as it gets. Getting blown up, deliver a 20-yarder sideline route. That's on the money there. Great job staying in bounds. Felt like Clemson was going to tie this football, honestly.
Yeah, I think the key is this down. This is the key down right here. Just get the first down. Just get the first down. You know, flare it out, whatever. Just make sure you get the first. Once they got the 4th down, you felt like LSU was going to win.
Oh, that's good. And that's going to be all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
LSU walks in and gets the W, and they are claiming the moniker the real Death Valley. This game was for the pink slips, man. Like, look, it had to be for the pink slips. It had to be. I was super impressed in LSU. I will say I had more confidence in LSU winning that football game than I had in any other game that I tried to make predictions on, and some of my predictions did not come true. But this one did, and I felt really strong about that LSU football team. That LSU football team has kind of been drugged through the mud. Brian Kelly's been drugged through the mud. He's had a lot of struggles with opening week games. I felt like this is one that they really circled. I thought this was a backyard brawl kind of game. And I just feel like LSU is a tougher, more physical, grittier football team. Clemson's fantastic. They've been the best in the ACC for the last 10 years, save for a few seasons where the Noles got up there. So it's no disrespect to Clemson, but LSU is just really tough and gritty. And I felt really strongly they were going to win, and they did. And they showed a lot of poise, and they showed a lot of character and a lot of toughness, being able to overcome some terrible turnovers and still go into a road environment, which I don't think bothered them one bit, and come out with a huge win.
Yeah, it was a great win. I think the story was just one, not to downgrade what Klubnik did. He made some really nice throws, but you just felt more in control with Nussmeier back there. And I just felt like they could score and they could move the ball. And I think if they don't turn the ball over early, they're probably it'll probably been a more comfortable win. But it is a great win anytime you go into Memorial Stadium and win. They did a great job. I think it's a big win. I think Clemson's still one of the best teams in the ACC, but they have some stuff they have to clean up where they got to find more playmakers at the receiver and running back position.
Well, let's check out the Dogs in Athens taking on Marshall. We got a little cinematic treat here. Let's turn the volume up. I know we got some Dog fans that will enjoy this. Interesting year for Georgia. I think Georgia could go a long way.
We say we are. Are we who we say we are?
And a lot of the reason why. Kirby Smart, doing better.
You coach, new energy. You come out swinging. All right, guess what? So are we. We're going to come out swinging too. You know what I'm saying? Take a fight. Take a fight. Don't wait. Allow it.
That sounds like a wrestler.
All right.
I'm telling you.
Your expectation today is you play to that standard. It is your job to play to the standard of Georgia football. So go out and do it.
We know who we are. It's time to prove it.
You know you're going to create an identity. First impression, they're going to feel it early. And they're going to feel it all day.
A lot of guys give me their first chance to play. Well, fire, passion, energy, we've preached it. I want to be able to see it on tape.
Now it's time to tee it up between the hedges for the first time here in 2025.
Y'all are going to be a herd, but y'all ain't going to be thundering. Y'all gonna be getting thundered.
Wow, they really put in a lot of work on this.
I'm so excited the defense gets to buckle up their
I had to go
cheeks
to the
first
ball.
and get this season started for the Dogs. We want to see this domination right out of the gate.
Gets to go first today. Same play. He's hit behind the line, this time by Gabe Harris. Gunner Stockton with a beautiful fake on the pitch.
Gunner Stockton. I feel like he's the perfect Georgia quarterback for their style
very
and for what they need.
And he gives you a bigger athleticism than they had for a while. I think probably since Stetson. Stetson was very athletic too.
We know who that guy is. Transfer from USC. He's going to be scoring some TDs in the SEC.
Keeps it 10-5, breaks the tackle.
That's a big boy, man. That's a big boy.
Yeah, Georgia's going to be really dangerous because Georgia's going to have what you already know.
You know what I like to see right there? Block kicks. That's what I love to see.
The ball tumbling in the air and comes down to Georgia at the 20-yard line.
Oh, Lord. They got on the Legion of Doom. They got the Legion of Doom going.
They got the spikes.
And a touchdown on a 10-yard run by Gunner. Now with the linebacker, Chris Cole will make the tackle.
Ooh. There's not going to be a team more athletic, more stops, particularly in the front seven, than this team. I mean, Georgia's going to have O-line on offense. They're going to have backs. They're going to have a hell of a tight end.
There he is.
Zachariah Branch. They got a guy on the outside, and they got a perfect quarterback for them. Georgia's going to be a problem.
Yeah, probably the most athletic, explosive receiver in the country, in my opinion.
Ooh, nice stick. They got dudes.
That's another thing they always have. They always have a top-tier tight end.
How about them Dogs?
Okay.
All right. Well, I got to say, watching them, I know it's the highlights. I know it was Marshall. But, yeah, we're going to have some predictions at the end of the show. We'll probably touch on some stuff. I'm real high on the Georgia, and I know we've got a couple buddies that are big Georgia guys. Cousin Eddie, our boy Corey, our beloved friend Corey, big-time Georgia Bulldog. Shout out to Corey. I know they're kind of humble about this Georgia team, but I don't see, especially given what we saw from Texas, Arch got a ways to go. Ohio State looked phenomenal, but they didn't look dominant. I mean, they looked matched pretty even with Texas, and we know that Texas got a long ways to go. And to be fair, Ohio State's going to have a ways to go with staying too, right? But I just don't think that the ceiling's there. that Georgia team, I don't think there's anybody in the country that they cannot beat. And
Yeah.
Georgia has a way to kind of finagle the schedule to where it's not easy. They have a tough schedule, but it's not overly tough like a Gator schedule. And the SEC championship is going to be in Atlanta. And I feel like if you go to the SEC championship, you're going to be in the playoff. And I'll stand for it. I'm not an SEC homer that wants to see a ton of SEC teams, but I do respect the conference. And if you make the SEC championship, your ass better be in the playoff, because I don't want to see SMU or Boise State or some other school, because I know if you make the SEC championship, you should be in the playoff. And I have a strong feeling that Georgia is going to be one of the top 2 in the SEC this year. They have everything. I love Gunnar Stockton at quarterback. I wasn't so sure about him last year, but looking at that scheme now, he fits the toughness of a Kirby Smart football team. He's going to take care of the football. They've got an electric Zechariah Branch on the outside. Delp, they've got run across the middle. They've got backs galore. Offensive line that will beat your ass. They've got a front 7 that's on brand with Georgia. And if that secondary can hang tight, this Georgia football team, I think, is going to win 10 to 11 games in the regular season and be in the playoff.
Yeah, it's a great team, and they always they do well in the trenches. That's where they're really good. And then they have game breakers. Obviously, adding Zachariah is really massive for them. I think the key for them is to keep Gunner out of the deep third downs. As long as he's not having to make crazy reads and stuff like that, and he can run the offense effectively, you keep him in second manageable, third manageable. I think they're going to have a really big year. I agree with you, 10 or 11, but that's the key, I think, for Georgia's success. Keep Gunner in the right situations.
Let's get on to one of our beloved friends, Mr. Gino. We're going to cover the Canes, number 10 in the country. Huge opportunity with Notre Dame coming in. Catholics versus Convicts, 2025 edition. Let's see it. Is this the year? It's always the year for Miami. Is this the year? Let's see it.
In the backfield, he faked it to him, a low throw, and a loss of
right off the bat, I thought Miami's speed was evident. I thought they were fast. I was impressed with what they did up front on both sides of the ball. I thought they got pushed, or they did the pushing. And, man, I mean, they're finishing tackles. Fumble right here. Ruben Baines, that dude played a hell of a game. Actually, it's Justin Scott got that fumble out.
Yeah.
But this is where I was impressed with them. It felt like that Miami O-line was able to get the push when they needed to all night long. It's a Notre Dame team, went to national championship last year and had one of the best front sevens in football. I thought Miami outplayed them up front.
Yeah, they're really good. I mean, they're one of the best offensive lines, I think, in the country, certainly in the ACC. There's some good ones out there, but I think they're the best one.
Oh, Lord.
And then this is what you're going to get when you're playing in the wet. You're going to get guys bobbling balls and stuff. But I really didn't like. I hated some of the game plan that Notre Dame did. I thought it was very tentative. It kind of reminded me of what Texas did. Like in the first game of the year, I just feel like you have to be aggressive with what you're going to do. Mark Fletcher, love him. I think he's a great back. Covered him a lot. He's a good one.
Running through dudes. Now this was a hell of a throw and catch. He got away with it. Tell you what, Tony really flashed. Tony looked like he's going to be a pretty electric guy, especially out of the slot. This was a back foot. Beck did a good job buying a little time. He had decent coverage, but just it's game of inches. Miami gets a big-time first touchdown.
Yeah.
Well, Notre Dame was able to get some runs strung together here in the second quarter, but it just didn't have the explosiveness.
Yeah. It felt like at least in the second quarter they were at least tacking and using their running game. So I thought the game plan in the second quarter was a little better, but I'm really harping on teams that don't be aggressive early in the game to set the tone.
I mean, we got babble bops going on, and we got all kind of stuff. This was the
this is wild. This was wild.
I mean, that's about how Notre Dame should score, right? I mean, turn around 3 or 4 times, find a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
Can't ask a DB to cover that long. So
No.
This is just fantastic. Look at the defenders.
Great job by Carr. I thought Coach Freeman was a little tentative with CJ Carr. I think he had more than think. And he showed that in the second half, making some throws, making some runs. I think looking back at the film, they're probably going to regret that. Same with Arch. I think this was insane. Insane catch. Number 8, how you don't pick that, I'll never know. Insane catch, but number 8, you literally just watched like you had a 70-inch plasma screen and you just watched the highlight in front of you. Like the ball was.
Goes up with one hand.
What is it? Go get the ball. Hey. Don't gator arm it. What a play by Daniels there to snap that. But holy crap, man, look at that. That's going to be a tough film watch, too.
Yeah, I mean, that if high school kids are watching that, that's absolutely how you don't do it.
Bully ball. Refs won't blow the whistle. They're going to let the Canes push this in. And we Herb Hand talked about culture plays. We had one against Bama in the Florida State game. This is a culture play for Miami right here. Just pushing Notre Dame around. Fantastic effort, not quitting, and getting up 2 scores. Felt like Miami was going to win this football game at this point here.
Yeah, it ain't your job to blow the whistle. So if they don't blow the whistle, you keep going.
Here we go. Now, CJ Carr can do this, but we didn't see any of this in the first half.
Exactly.
Not really sure why.
That's the problem. That was the problem of the game. You have to set the tone of what you're going to do offensively, and they never did until the second half.
Oh, what a catch. What a catch.
First and goal from inside the 1.
Great pursuit.
Just beating them up.
Short of the goal line.
Canes played with some phenomenal effort, short yardage situations, both sides of the ball. Very impressed with what they did there. And, I mean, this was just a goofy play. Guys running into each other. Ended up getting there. But now it's a 1-score game, and you got a quarter to go.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like in Miami finish. We've seen some other teams get out there and get some good leads. And then it's kind of like, is this the same Mario Cristobal Canes team? Here's a big 3rd and 7.
Yeah, I felt they were very. I thought Miami was very tentative in the fourth quarter.
Is this it?
And it almost burned them. Here, there it is.
Kick flip, boop a doop. I mean, Notre Dame had all the momentum, and it's these teams kept pounding these perimeter plays. Great job by the Miami DB snuffing this out. Miami ends up getting a field goal right here. They snuck it in. They're back up 10. I mean, just 2nd and 2. You got Jeremiah Love. Why are you throwing that?
Yeah,
why are you
exactly.
throwing that out there?
That's my whole point.
And then there's just a lot of grounding. A lot of grounding went on.
Yeah.
At this point, Miami's D-line just pinned the ears back. Notre Dame's able to get a field goal out of this, back to a touchdown game. Defensive stop.
Well, regardless of what happens here tonight,
they get the ball back, and then we can see what we got.
In the AP poll area,
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was referring to, that I felt like Miami was very tentative near the end of this game.
Great return.
Nice return by
really good turn.
Miami had a chance to ice it. They didn't. They didn't even take any time off the clock. And then you're about to see the slowest receiver in the history of college football. I mean, number 6, can you go cut the guy? I mean, that is crazy lack of speed right there.
Yep.
But doesn't matter. Great play call here. Here's CJ Carr. And I'll be honest, right here, it felt like Notre Dame was going to kind of come back and sneak this thing at this point here.
Yeah, you started to worry. You definitely worried because they felt like they just let them hang around and they're playing with their food, and then Notre Dame tied it. It's like, okay, this is real now.
The Notre Dame Fighting Irish. There's only
Boom.
5
Way to get out to 73. Great job.
To come up with a big stop when they needed it.
So now here's when Miami's driven down the field. Got a 2nd and 4. Get stuffed. They need one more to ice it. They don't get it. Here comes the kick. And it started right. And then, golly, the Miami Coral Gable gods blew it back left. It's good. Miami's up 3. And this is where they just pinned the ears back, and they just got to it. Look at that. That's grounding, ladies and gentlemen.
Ball game.
That's it.
Rolled out an incomplete pass, and Carr is very fortunate
You're going to see Ruben Bain coming and ending this.
2nd and 17.
Boom.
He's going down
Meet
again.
Mr. Bain.
Akeem Messador.
And
They
somebody
can't even
knows you're
contain themselves.
when they know you're doing
Taking over
something,
on the last couple of
you know, it's
plays,
just
and time expires. They're going to give
yeah, they didn't get the playoff.
play, or are they? Now the
That's
official on
it.
the far sideline.
Canes get it done.
Yeah.
Fantastic top 10 matchup. Cristobal gets a signature win. Looks like a new Miami. Looks like they finally put it together. We knew that O-line was going to be beastly. We knew that O-line was going to be able to move people. And it looks like not only can that O-line move people, they've got some backs that can run through the holes they create. They've got JoJo Trader on the outside. They've got Tony on the inside. They always have tight ends. Beck looks like he's going to be I think Beck's going to be fine. Beck didn't wow you in this game, but he looks like he can manage it. And if you look at some of the great Kane teams, when they had a great defense and they were able to run that play action, they had the backs, they had the offensive linemen, day one picks all over the line. They had the Dorseys. Dorsey was not like a carve you up, just crush you quarterback, but he was fantastic. He made the right throws, made the right reads, and he managed it, and he didn't have the big turnovers. I thought Carson Beck played well in this game, given the talent on the defensive side. And this Canes team looks really good. I picked them as a playoff team at the beginning of the year. I think they're going to win 10 games. They've got three really big, but two monstrous interstate matchups coming up.
Mm-hmm.
They've got the Gators at home, and then they're going to be on the road in Tallahassee, and it's going to tell us everything we need to know about all three of them programs.
Yeah. It was a great win too. I thought Carson did everything he needed to, made some key throws when they needed, and that was the kind of the difference in the game if you think about it. Just the plays he made in the crucial moments. Whether it's that first quarter, pass to Tony, or just he always seemed to make the third down play. I think they obviously got to find more playmakers outside of Tony. Didn't feel like there's other guys that were really just making plays outside the KJ crazy catch. But I think some other guys have to step up and get a little bit more with that. And then, but overall, anytime you win a top 10 matchup to kick off the season, I think it was a really good win for mine. Really solid, and certainly puts them in position with that big Florida game coming up that I think everyone's going to be watching. I know I'm damn sure going to be watching, and
It's going to be a great one.
It's going to be a good game to kind of be, to see where these teams are. But a great win for Miami.
Well, flipping the script, we've got a certain somebody who was the #1 recruit in the class of 2025. Bryce Underwood flipped his commitment from LSU, goes to Michigan. Sharon gets his man. Let's see the debut.
2nd down and 10. Goodwin, the motion man. Hand up the middle.
This right here is number 22, Justice Hayes, transfer from Alabama, just smoking everybody.
56 yards. You're a Wolverine, Justice Hayes.
Yeah, he's ridiculous. As a person that covers FSU, I was pretty happy that he wasn't
Get you a block,
when
young
FSU
man.
played him. So
Get you a block, young fella.
2nd touchdown for Justice Hayes.
Yeah, he stuck him.
I don't know if you want your freshman star quarterback throwing blocks, but I don't think it matters. Go get you a pick, TJ Guy.
TJ Guy vacuums it in.
Lost a lot of weight, looks a little thinner, still explosive. They've got a lot of dudes on that line. Michigan just kind of comes at you in a way. It's a very violent football team. I think that was kind of the theme of this game. It's New Mexico. New Mexico's not a barn burner opponent, but there was a lot of, and this is how they scored, a lot of trickeration. New Mexico drew up some really great stuff. 2 times down on the goal line, they drew up touchdown plays. That was one of them. Fantastic call there. New pressure was coming, went right over the top of it.
On this New Mexico roster.
So now we're looking at the first half, and you saw some great things from Bryce. But New Mexico is hanging in there. They're only down 7. So this was a great moment right here. 2-minute drill. See what Bryce can do. They drive down the field. One thing, death taxes and Michigan having tight ends. That's a great route right there. Marlon Klein, junior tight end from Germany. Bryce gets his first TD pass. He had a lot of zip on the football from what I saw.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
And as expected, he drills it.
I like 17 a lot. I definitely
another
like
one.
44 a lot.
Lane.
Look at that. Same deal. Back of the end zone looks. They were drawing it up down there.
On third down, this is a fourth down play, and you need 9 yards.
And they will run it.
That's where they took over.
Step into it. Deliver
Yeah,
a deep
he just
shot. He's got a man.
threw a punt. Be interesting to see Michigan on the back end. Will Johnson leaves. They do get Rod Moore back. They got a lot of young corners. It'll be interesting to see how they look on the back end. Another big run right here. Here's Justice hitting the burners. He's gonna get. Oh, I think he was down at the 1.
And he's down at the 1. Haynes stays in there.
Wow, I thought he was gone.
He got in there.
Touchdown. It's a Haynes hat trick.
Jason Eck and his staff to get this team ready to play at this kind of level.
Only 1 penalty all day.
Oh, he got clobbered.
Oh, what a terrible.
Sullivan. This quarterback got hit like 20-something times. It was some ridiculous amount.
That was an
they just
awful
put a
decision.
Ton of pressure on him.
Yeah, that
they
was
put
just
a
an
ton
awful
of pressure
decision.
on him.
Yeah, it's like you're gonna run, but wow.
Yeah. So Bryce ends up throwing for 250. I think the thing to really pay attention to with him was the zip that he had on the ball. We talked about perimeter passing. Bryce can get it there. His first pass, it didn't show it in that clip. His first pass was a perimeter pass to Samaj Morgan. Ended up going for 12 yards in the first down, but it's the zip that gets it there. He's got a lot of JJ and Joe Milton velocity. I mean, that guy's on the mound throwing 96, 97. I mean, he's really humming. Great accuracy, great poise. He's young, huge game in Norman. I have my doubts as to whether or not they'll be able to keep everything under wraps and perform the way they're going to need to win that ball game. But the early returns on Bryce Underwood, he looks the part, and it's going to be a dangerous Michigan team. It's an extremely violent defense, and I want to highlight that with a capital V. That's a violent defense. They're trying to knock the shit out of you every play. They remind you of a Mickey Andrews 1990s defense. They are not nice. They're nasty. They got a lot of people. They are knocking the shit out of you every play. And there's going to be a game at the end of November. And I'm just, we'll talk about it leading up to it. But I'm telling you right now, there's going to be a couple players that are going to get booted out of that game for targeting. Jay-Sean Barwin got hit with a targeting call in this one. He's going to miss the first half of the Oklahoma game. I didn't think it was targeting, but they hit you and they run through you and they're nasty and they stand over you and they make references to your mom and other members of your family that aren't kind. So it's just not your granddaddy's Michigan team. They're very nasty. They remind you of like an SEC West team, the way they play defense. So we'll see if that translates. But it's going to be a fun year, and I think Bryce looked the part.
Yeah, very very violent defense. Certainly, I watched all the first half, and then I was very impressed of just what Bryce did of getting the ball in his hands. When he saw something, he went with it. There's a few times where he could have checked down and swung it instead of trying to force it in the middle, but that's freshman stuff that you'll learn. But overall, the returns from what I saw from him were tremendous. I like what I see. A lot of I was wondering if they were going to just ease him in and they let him go. They let him run. They let him run the show. So that's very encouraging. So I'm interested to see them certainly this weekend. That's the big one.
We're going to see. Well, let's move on. Go to Happy Valley. Check out the number 2 team in the country, Penn State, hosting, not hoisting, the Nevada Wolfpack.
Yeah.
Penn State returns a ton of people. Drew Allard, Singleton. They've got backs all over the place. Kayshawn Allen. Let's check them out.
Yeah, I was really impressed with their front on defense.
Oh, big smacking going on. Balls flying everywhere.
Was covered by the Wolfpack, but it's picked up by Harris.
I really like their front, which you can say that almost every year. I think for Penn State, they're always pretty good there.
Singleton.
And then Singleton's ridiculous. He is, certainly one of the best backs in the Big Ten, in my opinion.
Played out. Singleton gets hit, gets stood up, falls back. Oh, I think he's in.
He's in by 2 feet.
He's in there.
Katron Allen on a sweep.
Feet on the edge. Stay on your feet, 10.
To the end zone.
Yep. That's Allen. He's a good one.
That's what I'm talking about. Just after he delivered the ball, blow to the running back.
It's kind of a weird play when they reviewed that because he never actually hits the pylon, but he never actually landed.
Hit the helmet. What a steal right there.
Yeah.
That's a poster.
So he never landed on him, but he lands over the line.
Give him the touchdown.
I don't know if that's a touchdown, but
It's a
I
touchdown.
don't think it would have mattered.
Yeah, it's a tutty.
It's Drew Alar. Can you get the ball downfield, Drew? Yes, you can.
That
Oh,
was
that's
a
a
great
great ball.
And it's Kyron Hudson.
That's a great
First
ball.
and 10, Wolfpack.
Yeah, they look very in control. And like I said, the defensive line. I love their line.
I mean, they look better than Michigan. They played a similar team, and Penn State looked a lot better as far as, I mean, the scoreboard, just, offensive continuity. I think continuity has a lot to do with that, but Penn State looked good.
Yeah, I really like what they're building on the defensive side of the ball. I think it's really impressive.
Might happen, though. Got it out
I don't know what kind of defensive blown assignment that was.
You didn't even
I mean,
cover him.
He was out there for 10 years, just left him.
You didn't even cover him.
Penn State from a yard out.
See, this
Nicholas.
is where you have a veteran quarterback and the microphone in the helmet, right?
All right, so it's just getting ridiculous at this point. Pretty much, here's Alar. He needs to be able to do this. He plays alive. If this athleticism is that Drew Alar?
That's a backup.
I was gonna say that didn't look like Drew Alar. He looked quicker than him.
Yeah, I think Drew Alar is like number 10.
So they go from the 6 to a 6-yard touchdown run.
Okay.
Tutty.
Tutty.
Tutty, baby. So
Nice.
Penn State gets the win. They absolutely clobber schnocker Nevada. They're number 2 team in the country. Top 2 teams in the country are Ohio State, Penn State. Big Ten's got to be smiling and loving that. I mean, if there was a way that they could dream up, if Petiti could dream up a Penn State national title and they could go Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, I mean, they would. I mean, they would have to love that. Penn State, super impressive. Last game of the day that we're going to cover, we did a whole entire show on it, and we're going to do another little segment. We've got the Tide, because they don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide. Rolling into Tallahassee, new look Noles, no idea what the Noles have. Coach Norvell's on the hot seat. Malzahn's running the offense. Coach Tony's running the defense. Here comes Kalen DeBoer. They've got the richest, the most talent-rich and laden roster in all of college football. Let's see it.
Richard Young straight ahead, and the extra.
They had him stop.
Is what is going to earn Alabama the first down.
The first drive, Bama really executed on some short yardage and some third, fourth down. Look at that penetration right there. Just living on this. I mean, holy smokes, we're 4 yards in the backfield. Deontay McCray. This was a gash run right here.
Yeah, they didn't have a lot of those on the day, but that was one that they did gash them, and then just a great play call here.
Yeah. Can't guard 2 out there. 27, you got to come down there. Barker, you got lost inside.
Yeah, I got sucked in.
Yeah, he did.
It's a nice play design by Ryan Grubb because the play
it's good design, though. Really good design.
Safety Ashlyn Barker and allow Cuevas to get underneath it. This is a play that almost you got to play just a little bit faster, and you got to be on.
All right, let's see it, Thomas. You spoke it into existence.
Jet motion as Castellanos keeps it, and this is exactly what
he looks fast.
So well.
Yeah, and that's kind of what they need to get out of him.
Third down and 11. 4-man rush from Bama. Castellanos
perfect throw.
and a diving effort.
That's a dime.
Squirrel.
They get a big one.
I mean, you got to have a squirrel on your team.
Inside the 5, diving into that end zone with a strike.
Jed Lang, Dalvin Cook, Peter Ward joining in on the celebration. Got to love that.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a big momentum boost, too, because it was like you just got down 7-0. So they got some early adversity, and they didn't blink. They just went right down the field and came back, and it's a great setup run by Tommy there.
So we're looking at 7-7 here. Bama gets the ball back and actually put together a pretty decent drive. This throw and catch here was fantastic.
Yep.
Bernard just lit us up all game long.
Yeah, he was a problem.
I mean, they got the explosive, right?
But this is also this is kind of what you saw after that first drive, where from that point FSU was controlling the line of scrimmage. They were getting pressure almost every down.
Here's a 3rd and 13 after the penalty. Pressure steps up and is sacked.
Big sack.
To UCF, that's where he started his career. Then
Field goal was unsuccessful. We stay at 7-7 and let the party begin.
Here is Dancy now, and look at
Goodbye.
Dancy. How about it, Knowles?
What a play call. What execution. Way to stay in bounds there by Micah.
Yeah. Motion this way. This lineman's pulling.
We didn't see much of this last year, but we're seeing it this year.
And the thing is, you have to block this up right, and that was really the key. They all blocked it up perfect.
Get out there, 55. He got a piece. Look at Deuce down there on the edge blocking. So I'd say receivers make first downs, they turn them into touchdowns when they block right. What a great cut. This is a freshman. Usman Chroma.
Yeah.
Freshman running like that through Alabama.
Yeah, he was really patient on that run.
That was kind of the standpoint, right? That we saw all game was of the physicality that FSU looked like the most physical team.
And look at this guy, just the rabbit, just getting loose in the yard.
College football Saturday like this. Jake Weinberg out to attempt the 45-yard field goal.
Sticks this.
Yep. Just felt like after that first drive, Rico, they really controlled the line of scrimmage, and that was really the key in them getting a 10-point lead at the half.
Down.
That was almost a disaster.
Guys. Let's get to the half, guys.
I think that's a lesson learned that next time, let's just take a knee.
Big time hold there on the edge. I mean, call the hold, guys. Holy moly. But this guy was going crazy all game.
Yeah, they did a very good job on Ryan, but I think they were kind of like, you know what, that guy might get.
Called this in the first half when they were running that motion. I said they're going to come back. They're going to fake that motion. They're going to hit a wheel route off it. Sideline, boom, there it was. Here comes Keziah Holmes. Just wouldn't be denied. Look at the background here. This celebration. Look at that ominous dark sky just showing the perilous result for the Crimson Tide that was ensued.
To the right of the formation, they go quick, the quick pitch. Florida State being physical. We're seeing them a lot more in the slot now than we did a year before.
Don't hit the bunny ears on your TV. That score's right.
Yeah, it's right.
There's number 5 again, trying to change it.
Yeah, he was phenomenal. They got him from Washington, came over with Kalen. Great receiver. So I'm saying, people thinking that Alabama's got talent, guys. They're going to be good when they figure it out.
Get in there, Blake.
I liked what I saw from Ty Simpson. He was just such a hard guy to get to the ground. Great throw too.
God, that guy was the problem. He's going to be lighting up some SEC defenses.
Yeah, he's good. He's really good.
3rd and 15.
It's a great play here.
Oh, if we recover this turns into an absolute blowout.
If we could just get James over there faster, I think it probably would have been a scoop and score.
What a hold and kick. My goodness. That was a fantastic hold and kick.
Marching Chiefs spelling out Corso as well. By Simpson.
Boom!
Back and he is sacked. He is brought down
Steph
by
Thompson. Another one of the linebackers they brought in from the portal.
Oh!
From actually, good story about Steph Thompson. He's actually followed Tony White every place he's been. He was at Syracuse, at Nebraska, and now he's at FSU.
We start this fourth quarter.
Ooh, they diagnosed that big time.
Yep. That was their one sack.
Keon Sabb. Remember him.
Oh, yeah.
2nd and 7.
Great play to Cuevas here. Ah, man.
They miss a lot of tackles, but that was one of them in the game.
Got to get there quicker.
146 receiving yards for Bernard. He
It's a
pulls
great design here too.
Another one here. That's a
But
bad
you got
miss
it. But
by
you got
Thomas Rawls.
trying to get to the pylon.
Jabril's got to make that tackle.
Rico Scott.
Uh-oh, we're swanning.
Hits it.
Bama's feeling
Swanning it.
good here. Only down a touchdown now.
This means
I
he
was
has
getting
to
text
throw it.
messages from
Ryan
people
Williams
saying that
getting
we
a
were in
quick drop
trouble.
down the field,
All right,
buying some
let's see
time
what we
for
got.
Rico Scott.
This
And
next
all of a
drive
sudden,
is absolute,
Alabama within
you know,
7. We
absolute
have got a
man
game
ball
here late
and
at Doak Campbell Stadium.
clock control, and it's a statement drive. 4th and 1 on our own 35. Oh, baby. Holy hell. Roydell. Crimson Tide back. Sticking it.
But that was blocked so well.
Second down and 9.
And here, you seen this again? Let's show it to you one more time. Look at Micah just knifing through guys. Are they going to get him to the ground? No, they're not. He's still stepping around. Guy's got some size, some strength.
Yeah, they've done a lot of really good job, both with him in track and FSU football.
Boom.
From what I've heard,
Boom.
they really
Jumping over
got
dudes.
him, beefed him up.
Get in there.
That was the man play there. That was the culture play, as her hand likes to call. that was kind of a statement win there. Statement play.
Oh, man. What a drive. 343, 10 plays, 75 yards. Killed the clock, got back up 2 scores. I wondered if we scored too early.
Yeah.
Defense is playing fantastic football on the other side.
You just can't say it enough. There's just a
We didn't see a lot of this energy last year.
No, we didn't. 4th down and 6, trying to end the game.
Simpson.
And a great throw. Rawls, you got to stay on your feet. You're guarding grass. There's 3 dudes there.
Yeah.
Florida State team.
But we ended up getting stopped.
Cause for alarm.
Rawls actually made a great play on the 4th down to get the stop. And then this was the one that iced it. Outside, first down. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be ball game. Doak Campbell has a whole lot of students and not just student athletes on it.
And here they come.
Here they come. They're going to get their tuition's worth.
It was worth the moment. I think a lot of people are like, oh, well, they just went 2-10. Everything's been a disaster for FSU. And it's a big win. Bama won 23 straight season openers. It was a big moment for FSU, so definitely worthy of it, and just an incredible job of turning around, this program. I thought they were one of the more impressive teams if you look at the control of the game and what they did. Certainly Tommy was phenomenal, but I think overall, there's a lot of exciting things going on with this team.
Well, that brings us to our rankings. And there was a little bit of a shakeup. Nothing too crazy. I guess Alabama going 13 spots down and Florida State jumping to the top 14 is pretty crazy. Other than that, there was a little bit of a swap action within the top 10. Obviously, Texas had to drop down because they did lose. So they did, in fact, drop down. But, looking at the rankings, I see Ohio State, Penn State, LSU at 3, Georgia 4. Miami runs up to 5. It's hard to argue against it because we didn't see enough from Oregon, who's at 6. Texas falls to 7. Clemson falls to 8. Notre Dame falls to 9. And South Carolina moves up to number 10. We'll just go to 12 since that's what the playoff is. You've got Illinois sitting at 11, and you've got Arizona sitting at number 12. Do you think that anybody is too high or too low in that poll as you look at it?
Not really. I think it's pretty good. You definitely valued the losses. Obviously, with Notre Dame coming close, I think Notre Dame rallying really saved their tails. I would have put them lower if that would have continued where they lost by 2 scores, but they ended up coming back and making it interesting. But I think overall they certainly. I didn't think they were going to move FSU up quite that much to 14, but they got. I knew they would be inside, around the 15 mark or top 19. I guess that's where I thought they'd be. But overall, they had to be ranked, and then certainly you had to drop Alabama a lot. And I think I certainly paid the price of getting whipped by FSU. But I think overall, I think the rankings are pretty fine. I don't think anybody was got the got the shaft or anything. I think the ranking is pretty good for first week.
Well, I'm trying to gather. I'm trying to gather what I'm thinking for a top 12 here, and it's really tough. I don't want to fool with this too much. Um, so I'm going to go with this
I think
based
it's
on
almost
what I saw. Yeah, based on what I saw. Um, I'm going to have Ohio State 1, Penn State 2, LSU 3, Georgia 4. I've got Oregon at number 5, um, because I feel like their explosion is always going to be there. I feel like they are always there, particularly in the regular season. Um, they have mastered the art of September through November. They struggle a little bit when it comes to December, but when I'm looking at these teams, I think until Arch Manning gets it figured out at Texas, I can't put them over Oregon. So I've got Texas at 6. And then I just don't feel like Miami is better than Oregon, Texas, or Clemson right now. I just, in my heart, I don't feel like that. So I've got Oregon at 5, Texas at 6, Clemson at 7. Miami jumps up to number 8. I've got Notre Dame at 9, South
hmm
Carolina 10. I've got Illinois at 11, and then I've got Michigan at 12 because I don't feel like the Gators are better than them. I don't feel like Arizona State's better than them, and I don't feel like Florida State's better than Michigan yet. That could change, but I don't feel like that yet. So that's my top 12.
yeah.
And just for fun, if there was a matchup in the playoff, you would have some absolute doozies. Listen to holy smokes. You would have Michigan traveling to Alton Stadium to play the Oregon Ducks. You would have Illinois traveling to Texas. Ho hum. It's kind of hard to really get up for Illinois' basketball school, but they're pretty good at football this year. You would have South Carolina traveling to the formerly named, we'll call it Memorial Stadium because it's no longer Death Valley because LSU took that. South Carolina going to Clemson would be crazy because they already play once. And then you'd have a rematch of Notre Dame in Miami. That's how the playoff would shake out. As far as championship prediction, after week 1, we'll just do it every week. And then I'm going to challenge Money Mike to give his.
Okay.
I thought about this long and hard. And I think I'm going to go with Ohio State and Georgia in the big one, with the Georgia Bulldogs winning it. That's what I got.
There you go.
The dogs. And I got the dogs with me. What do you got?
Yeah, and just kind of to go to your, top 12, it's like there there was a lot of great matchups, but the team I really like that I was most impressed with because I think they had the most daunting task was those LSU Tigers. I love what I see from LSU. I would have them in the national championship. I think they're going to play Ohio State. I think that's kind of where I'm at right now. I think the team of who they play could change from week to week for me, but I feel really good about this LSU team. I like what they do up front. I like their secondary. I like their receivers, and I love their quarterback. I think that he's probably one of the best quarterbacks in the country, and I like LSU to win it all. I think that team has everything you're looking for. I think they just have everything. You feel like, I mean, they have everything to get the job done. Now they got to keep growing every week. We saw some things that they got away with. Turnovers is going to be an issue. So if they can stay away from the turnovers, I think that's a team that I think could win it all.
I like it. They look great. I will also say I have to update the Heisman going into the season. Picked Arch Manning after
Yeah,
week 1. After week 1, despite not having a dominant performance, being that I think Ohio State's going to be there, they're not going to play Texas every week. Texas had a defense really stymie them. I think Jeremiah Smith's going to win the Heisman. I don't think many people are going to be able to stop him. I think
yeah,
between that Texas and Michigan game, I think those 2 games will probably be pretty quiet for him because there's going to be so much attention on him. I
yeah,
think in between there, he's probably going to go crazy.
yeah.
Probably something
I agree.
around like 1,500 yards, and he's going to go crazy. And I just don't think there's a better player in the country than him. And if Ohio State gets to the title game, which I think they will, Jeremiah Smith's probably going to be your Heisman.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Jeremiah is going to be guys. Certainly, I know Jeremiah very well from his days at Chaminade, but I just think he is the most explosive game breaker. I think Nussmeier will make a strong run, because I think he'll have really good stats, and certainly he'll have his Heisman moments because of the teams he plays. But I just don't think it's going to be enough. I just don't think anybody's going to be able to stop Jeremiah. I think Jeremiah is going to be a favorite, and I think he's going to win it.
Well, there you have it. That's our week 1 recap. We've got week 2. It's not going to quite be what week 1 was, but we do have Michigan going to Norman, Oklahoma. That's going to be a tough game. That's the headliner. Bryce in a wild environment. I'm going to predict a 30-21 loss for Michigan. I think that game's going to get crazy. I think you're going to get a couple of turnovers, and I think it's going to be a little bit too much. I know Sharon Moore really wants that game, but I think it's going to show some growing pains for Michigan. I think they might learn from it, but I think that I think Coach Venables gets that one done. Do you have a prediction for that game?
Yeah, I've studied this a lot because I really wanted to watch Michigan, so I spent a lot of time tonight watching it. Certainly, I've watched Oklahoma and what they've done. Certainly added a new quarterback, Material, who's done a really good job. I think it's going to be a crazy environment. But I like Michigan to win 24-20. I think Michigan's going to pull it out. I think it's going to be low scoring than most people expect. And I think if they do follow through on this prediction of what I'm making, I think that I feel very confident they're going to be in the playoff if they get this done at Oklahoma. But it'll be a challenge. I think it could go either way, but I just really like this Michigan team. I think you win up front. Yeah, there's some exciting toys at Oklahoma, but I think you win up front, and Michigan's just flat better up front when I look at those teams. Their back end's a little bit better. It's a tough environment. It's tough to win on the road, but I think this is one where I think Bryce will have his moments. Certainly there'll be some struggles, I think, as well, but I think they'll do enough to get the job done.
Well, there you have it. Mike's rolling with the big blue. We're going to see. We will be back in effect next week. Thank you guys for rocking with us. The Mike and Rico Show. That's the week 1 recap. God bless.